Why so serious?
Why so serious?
Why so serious?
Oh boy, the Elation and the Masked Fools, all associated with the Eon Aha, one of the most interesting and ironically the most enigmatic of the Eons, even though we have an enigmatic Eon. Go figure, when the greatest calamity that we're building towards actually comes to fruition and the Eon War ignites, who will Aha and its followers side with, and what's their endgame? Do they have an endgame? Absolutely they do, and it's gonna blow your mind. So buckle up, because we're going down the rabbit hole. What is this Eon's intentions? What does it intend to do? Because we know that there's a coming conflict in Honkai Star Rail, a big calamity that we're all brewing towards. The Eon War, hinted at by the Stonehearts in their last trailer, but we already knew this, and we knew the destruction is going to be a foe in the future, with its Lord Ravagers. But each Eon has a role to play, as well as all of their followers in this conflict, except for the Masked Fools and the Elation. What on earth drives them, and what's their agenda? Is it just to subvert expectations and do what they want? They don't care? Not exactly. Actually, I could argue that they're 20,000 steps ahead of everyone, and they really are the biggest player in the Eon War to come, in a most weird way possible. In a world where you have an Eon of literal destruction and its army of Ravagers. You have the Preservation, the IPC, Honkai Star Rail's evil, rich 1% corporation that wants to conquer the universe by any means necessary, no matter the cruel tactics. You have an Eon that wants to hunt down anyone it sees fit, and an Eon that will give immortality in life, even if it costs millions of lives and hardships in the future. You have Eons that want to procreate limitlessly and devour everything they see. You even have an Eon that defies the laws of time and space itself. And yet, the Elation tops it all. They're still 20 steps ahead of everyone, and it ain't even close. You see, in a lot of ways, the Elation, Aha, is the only true genuine Eon that we have in the game. And Eons itself, I've talked about this many times, are a metaphysical path or concept, embodied into a metaphysical form, for better or worse. The abundance will give out life abundantly, whether it's for the right or wrong, it doesn't matter, it just follows its path wholeheartedly. But most Eons are flawed entities and actually cause more pain and strife in the world than they actually help. They don't really do much good because they're an over-exaggeration of a path or ideal, and in a lot of cases are also flawed. I mean, Aha as an Eon is also flawed, but this Eon is flawed in the most paradoxical, genius way you could imagine. What does elation even mean? It means great happiness and excitement and overabundant, almost exaggerative happiness. But this Eon doesn't embody that at all, but yet it does at the same time, because it's sort of subjective. Aha does a bunch of wacky shit that no one can predict its intentions, its allegiances, what its motives are, or why it does what it does. Is it just for shits and giggles? To subvert expectations? Ah, cute puppies. Is it just to do things for the sake of doing things, or is there a rhyme or reason? Even the game itself is aware of this. Herta in the Genius Society, the uncontested smartest people in the universe, one even being an emanator of intelligence herself, states that this Eon doesn't really add up being associated with the Elation, but more so chaos. But hold on, what's the definition of chaos? Complete disorder and confusion, behavior so unpredictable and random. But if causing chaos makes Aha elated, then which really is the right answer? But you see, Aha understands the way the world works. It understands what it is, and it understands exactly what's going on. So do its followers. That is the big joke. That's why they're the Masked Fools. They are based off a Shakespearean play, and the Masked Fools are usually the narrators of that play. Do you see where I'm going with this? Now, while there's wars on the Shanzhou, Luofu, Penacony, Yarillo, and Belobog, the Eon War's coming, the finality, and the Stellaron Hunters are preparing. All of these factions struggling wars throughout the years. But the Elation laughs. It doesn't care. And the reason being is simply because they are in a video game, and the Elation knows this. It has even traveled to the world tree, the imaginary tree, and seen the void. The Elation knows and is self-aware that it is in a video game. And guess what? No matter what you do, your outcome, your story is dictated by the people writing and making this game. So, in turn, you laugh and enjoy the ride. Have fun where you can, because life is literally a game. And the Elation and the masked fools are self-aware of this. Hence why their character archetypes is based off of Shakespearean play narrators. The Elation live outside of the story and break the fourth wall. That is why you've seen Sparkle and Sampo both break the fourth wall with us. They are aware they are being controlled by a player, and their stories being told by Hoyoverse. That is the entire point of the Elation. And now a quick word from our sponsor, The Gaming Chronicles. And you might be saying, is this guy so pathetic that he can't get a real sponsorship, so he's sponsoring his own channel within his own video on that channel? And to that I have to say, The Gaming Chronicles covers both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. So if you're looking for lore on this amazing game told in a very painfully average way, look no further. We at the Gaming Chronicles, and by we I mean just me, because it's literally just me, have a set of principles.
We don't really care if you like the videos, as long as you watch each ad to the end and let it play out.
Because as long as I make money on this video, I really don't care if you enjoy it.
What the heck's wrong with my voice?
And that is going to conclude today's sponsor.
God damn it, Aha changed my voice. Thinks this is funny. Aha is more like the Eon of being an asshole. Whoa. Echo. Piss off. Alright, enough of this. Let's get back on track here. I think there's no denying it, even the game is self-aware of this, that Aha is definitely the Eon of Chaos. Everything that it does by making random people Emanators, especially people that hate the Elation. It does this despite them because it's hilarious. Making a random worm an Emanator because it would be hilarious to see what would happen. Why not? Blowing up the Astral Express and doing a bunch of wacky bullshit. And just for shits and giggles, it even convinced a branch of the Annihilation Gang to go attack the Eon of Nihility. And the Annihilation Gang, wanting to please Nanook, actually attempted it. Aha even giving them a bit of power. And why did it do this? Because it wanted to see if they would actually try and do it. Because obviously no one ever saw them again. They definitely died trying to do this. Aha thought it was hilarious. But how did it become the Eon of Elation if it's the Eon of Chaos, and even the game seems to be aware of this? Well, I think it's really simple. The game states that this Eon climbed the highest branch of the Tree of Existence. They saw the cold and endless void, the stars operating like machinery, and how the meaning of all things is nothing. And then it literally states that this Eon burst into laughter so hard that people could hear this laughter throughout the universe. And from this day forward, Aha and the fools believe that the truth of this world is a joke. And this is how I believe they became the Eon of Elation. The true elation of learning the truth of your own existence. It'd be like us. Imagine if you spent all your life going to school, getting a job, saving, trying to retire, following the rules so you don't go to jail, try to keep your family safe, try not to die, and then you learn that you're in a simulation or in a video game like Grand Theft Auto, and you're self-aware of this and nobody else is. I'd probably make a random worm into an Emanator too. Speaking of simulated universes, actually, the fact that Herda created a simulated universe in a simulated universe, which is the video game to begin with, Aha is self-aware when it's even in the simulated universe. Within the simulated universe, it calls us fake. It knows. When you're playing the simulated universe, it is self-aware of this fact, and it plays along jokingly, calling us fake. Also, when characters break the fourth wall, which the masked fools do, they are acknowledging us, the player, that is obviously controlling them, and this is who they are entertaining. While all the other factions are fighting over the universe, the masked fools know that they are putting on a show for us, the player. And usually breaking the fourth wall is a clear sign that the people in the story are self-aware of their position. Also, if you can guess the song that just started playing in the background, you are an absolute gem. And some of you might say, well, Aha actually helped during the Swarm disaster and helped Claypoth defeat Tazeroth. No, it really didn't. It said that they were present, but what did they really do? Aha was probably there to watch Claypoth pound a bunch of bugs into the dirt. During Fantilia's boss battle, they watched us struggle against a Lord Ravager. Lives were on the line, and it just laughed. It usually messed with Akavili, the Trailblaze Eon, and literally blew up the Astral Express, learning its own existence and how meaningless the wars and everything really is how this Eon found true elation in everything that it does. Everything is funny because nothing actually matters at the end of the day. And honestly, this is one of the hardest Eons and factions within the game that people are always trying to pinpoint their intentions or what they're going to do, who they side with. Even before 2.3 came out, everyone was so frantically wondering what Sparkle was doing with those buttons. Does she plan on blowing up Penacony? What's her endgame? She was one of the more mysterious characters of that whole chapter, and everyone said it was a disappointment that she really just didn't do anything, sort of subverted our expectations. And was that the entire purpose of her in Penacony? Just to do a bunch of ominous things in 2.0, 2.1, and 2.2, leading to this? Well, yeah, she's a MacGuffin placed in Penacony by the developers to deliberately do ominous, questionable things that make us overthink, make us question her motives, have us talking, and can be a character to just do vague, cryptic things, all for the purpose of messing with us, the player. Messing with us because we don't know what she's trying to do, we overthink what she's trying to do, and they're not really trying to do anything, they're just fucking around. And what they ultimately end up doing is underwhelming, and that's funny to them. It annoys us, but they don't give a damn. Actually, speaking of Sparkle, the game describes her as a dangerous master of theatrics engrossed in playing roles, a woman of countless masks and many faces. Wealth, status, or power, none of this matters to Sparkle. The only thing that can lure her is the interest of amusement. Sparkle was abandoned as a young girl and orphaned, living without knowledge of her origin or where she comes from, until she stumbled upon a theater group and watched them and was infatuated with them. This was the beginnings of how she got associated with the Elation. And honestly, I'd be shocked if she's not an Emanator. Pathstriders are described as people that have access to the Eon's power and will, but an Emanator is somebody who has been specifically singled out to obtain and given permission directly to draw that Eon's power, which makes them immensely more powerful. And we know that Aha has approached and talked to her in person. He has made direct contact with her, which is by definition what an Emanator actually is. We don't know for sure if this Eon gave her the power, but if they're willing to make a worm an Emanator, I'm sure that the people that embody this Eon the most, I'm sure they would. And whether she's an Emanator or not, if they've spoken, then she's probably equally aware of their situation as this Eon is, also breaking that fourth wall. You think you can shield from this bomb, boy? You're about to get absolutely clowned on, get it? So anyways, yeah, I believe Aha, when he visited the Tree of Existence, which is probably the imaginary tree, the thing that makes up the Hoyoverse multiverse. You know, in its own funny way, this Eon and its followers are smarter than any of the Intelligentsia Guild, the Genius Society, or the Eon of Erudition. But they play the fool. They are the developers of Hoyoverse's in-game Shakespeare masked fools. The narrators. They are in its own way the developers' free characters that they can move around with no rhyme or reason. Have them placed in Penacony, Urillo 6, on the Lafu, or even in future stories or locations. You can place them as fools and have them do a bunch of wacky shit, and they'll play along, they'll be happy to. Have them as a distraction, or even have them mislead us in the story. They can do whatever you need them to do. They're the MacGuffins of this game, and they are aware of it. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the Eon War and the calamity with Nanook, the followers of Elation don't give a shit. The developers will write the story however the hell they want, and we're all along for the ride. Speaking of along for the ride, I have a question for all of you of the rhetorical variety. Do you want to see me crush some losers online at this bird fruit game? Okay, let's do it. Ooh, it's Elio. Let's go. Ready to get absolutely destroyed? Fuck! Ugh. Whatever, this is bullshit anyway. It's just one game. I'll come back. I'll go undefeated now, no problem. Watch your back, bud, I don't forget. Oh, shit. Oh, suck it, boy. Get it. Let's go. Oh no, what happened, Elio? Sucks to suck, I guess. See you later. Yeah, not looking too good at the moment. Shit, whatever. I'll still survive this, and I have one chance left. That's all I need. I'm not even remotely worried about it. Fuck you. Last place? Last place? Whatever, I don't care. I'm not mad. I'm not mad, okay? I'm not mad. I really don't care. I'm not mad. I don't care. It's a stupid game. Go touch some grass. How about that?